in a nutshell, what do you do?
So I've worked on the development of next generation lower risk products like Zyn for the last 6 or 7 years. I helped design the studies to look at them, and I also ushered them through the FDA's approval process, authorization
You
process.
just got out of a meeting with the governor or her staff or something of that? You got out of the governor's office, right?
Yes. We were talking with the governor's staff about the proposed 75% tax on nicotine pouches, like our product Zyn.
What kind of message did you want to convey to them?
I think ultimately, we wanted to make sure that they knew that there's still 1.5 million smokers in New York. Many of them will die every year, and it costs the state over $12 billion to care for people who smoke cigarettes. Products like Zyn and other nicotine pouches are really an off-ramp from those combusted cigarettes, and the FDA has said that people who switch from cigarettes to nicotine pouches can lower the risk of cancer, cardiovascular disease, and respiratory disease, and this tax makes it harder to do that. So we just wanted to explain sort of what's going on there.
Because obviously this is her proposal, right? This was in her budget, her state of the state. So why is it important for you to be here and to get that meeting, right? Obviously this is something that you're advocating against right now.
Again, you think I lost my own father to cigarette smoking, and the state will lose almost 22,000 people a year to cigarette smoking. So we really want to get the message out there that these products have been deemed less harmful by the FDA, and that you want to actually ensure that people have adequate access and they can afford to choose a better option than a combusted cigarette, and making nicotine pouches much more expensive is not going to do that.
The administration's argument for this proposal has been that they see a Zyn as a nicotine pouch as a public health issue. What do you make of that? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, so I mean, a nicotine pouch contains nicotine. It's in the name. Nicotine is addictive, but it does not cause cancer. It does not cause lasting cardiovascular disease or anything like that. So that nicotine, while it is addictive, it is what helps people make that transition, because people smoke for the nicotine, but they die for the tar. So if you can give them nicotine in a much less harmful form, like a nicotine pouch, it allows them to transition off. So, we share concerns. We want to make sure that these products stay out of the hands of underage people, but we really want them to be available for people who are smoking cigarettes, are addicted to smoking cigarettes, to give them a way out so they can lower their risk.
That is one of their concerns, is the younger population becoming addicted to this. How much is that on your radar?
It's very much on our radar. We spend a lot of our time on underage prevention, and that includes our marketing. We don't use influencers or athletes. We only use age-gated platforms to sell our products. We don't use kind of cotton candy flavors. All the flavors that our products come in are things that have been in smokeless tobacco for years, like mint. We're laser focused on that. The CDC has said that there was no major increase in their last report. The rates are still well below vaping or cannabis use by underage people, or even binge drinking. So it's low. We want to keep, we're very vigilant of that, and we'd love to work with the administration on it.
Yeah, we heard in the budget hearing today from the health commissioners talking about addiction specifically, and saying they're just trying to root it all out, right? Of sort of this broad-based approach. What do you think of that?
I think they need to see the nicotine and nicotine pouches as a way to get people off of that combusted cigarette. I think that's where their mind needs to be, because you could ultimately be saving a lot of lives and a lot of budget money that we're using to care for smokers by having people make that transition.
Yeah, I did see that in the document that was sent in regards to the projection of $50 million in revenue it would raise, but it looks like your side is saying you actually lose that money through Medicaid through trying to treat smoking. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, how you come to that conclusion?
Yeah, so there are estimates that have been put out in each state about how much each state is paying to care for smokers. And for New York State, that's $12 billion, many billions of that coming from the Medicaid program. So that's a huge expense. So, we're kind of in the same business of getting people off that combusted cigarette. We just think that this tax is going to hinder the movement away from cigarettes.
Is there a compromise in your world, or is this just a hard line, we don't think this should be included?
I mean, I think, once more members and the administration get a better understanding of the potential nicotine pouches have to reduce the cost of smoking and the tragic loss of lives, I think they'll understand that this tax is a bad idea, and maybe we should be working more on education or other ways to get people off of those combusted cigarettes.